Well, it looks like there is a transfer boost of Erik ten Hag minus sales. That's why I've gone ahead to really call it a transfer boost for Erik ten Hag. And we are talking Fred transfer to West Ham, not to West Ham, to Fulham is stalling. And I'm going to let you know why it is stalling, because we really started the day today with lots of positivity that Fred might find himself crossing from United to Fulham. And lastly, that David De Gea situation has been addressed by a United correspondent for The Athletic, and he has a very huge update that might excite some fans of United that would love to see David De Gea stay at the club. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner, there is a black button that has the word subscribe. Smash it. After smash it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto this YouTube channel. Now, it's a very huge day, and I think this is the last video we're doing on the day, and we'll kickstart off in the morning after this. And I said before I go into the hurricane stuff tomorrow morning, I have to get this story over the line. Rob Dawson, United correspondent for for ESPN, has told us that there is interest in Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, Rasmus Højlund, Randall Kolo Muani, and Lautaro Martinez, but so far Man United have been hampered by their budget restrictions and what they believe to be unrealistic valuations. I really understand that it's really a huge call coming in from Man United as far as the valuation of these players is really concerned. But my concern has always been, when it's not an English player, there are always concerns of unrealistic valuations. When it's a player who doesn't hold a British passport, that's the case. When a player in the scenario is holding a British passport, United is okay with spending whatever they want. When you look at that squad of Man United, most of the players I'm going to hate to see United spend a lot of money on them are English players. Let me give you an example. Luke Shaw, in 2015, he was the most expensive teenager, £30 million plus from Southampton to Man United. Sancho, £73 million. Harry Maguire, £80 million, right? Now, we are doing the deal of Mason Mount, and we all know that realistically he's not worth 60 million pounds. But United is settling onto that deal. That is it. So, for how long are we going to find ourselves in a situation that is really very much chaotic at the club of Manchester United? So, when you look at the market of the strikers right now, strikers are really sold expensively. That is it. You're not going to get a good striker on a cheap. Even those ones are really mediocres, you can get them at around 40-50 million pounds. So, with Erik ten Hag wanting to get in these signings, it looks like he needs to break the bank, and what is delaying all this process is simple. The takeover process is really delaying this process of Erik ten Hag, because we are not even trying to raise money from sales. Now, Rob Dawson added and said, sources have told that Man United have between £100 million and £150 million to spend on new players this summer, although the figure will be bolstered by funds raised. Now, why have I called it a transfer boost for Erik ten Hag? For starters, we are told that the budget is all about £100 million minus sales, and if at all you add on sales, it's really going to go ahead and obviously turn into a very gigantic budget. That's it. So, if at all it has been expanded up to £150 million, that gives us some bit of hope, because that money comes in minus sales. Now, if at all we add on sales of the players that Ten Hag really wants to sell, then that takes our budget to £250 million. And which players are we talking about? Harry Maguire 40, Scott McTominay 30, that is 70, Donny van Beek 20, that is 90. You know, Brandon Williams 10, that is 100 million pounds. Then Fred 20, 120 million pounds. Elanga 10, 130 million pounds. Eric Bay and Alex Telles 5 million pounds, 130 or 135. Who else are we left with that Ten Hag wants to sell? So we can raise close to 130, 40 or 50 million pounds. So if at all we can raise 150 million pounds from sales, add it onto the 150, that tallies to 300 million pounds, and that is really going to help us get these deals over the line. With 300 million pounds, you can sign in a striker at 100 million pounds. You can get in Rabiot on a free, add on Mason Mount, 60 million pounds, 160. Balance is 140. That means you've gotten 3 players. Now, the remaining players include a right-sided centre-back, 50 million pounds. You remain with 90 million pounds. Buy off a second striker at like 50 million pounds. You remain with like 40, and then you bring on a goalkeeper at 40 million pounds. I think 300 million pounds can really help Erik Ten Hag to bolster that squad of Man United, and obviously get in players that he really wants at that club of Man United. So it is really great that right now at the club of Man United there is hope that a budget of 150 million pounds is yet to be provided. And I was so much shocked when I heard that United is doing the deal of Mason Mount fast than any other deal. I knew that there was something important as far as that budget is concerned. It had exploded from 100 to a certain figure that we never knew. And thank God that Rob Dawson has told us that it's between 100 and 150 million pounds. Because with Erik Ten Hag making Harry Kane his priority signing, and he knows his cost was between 80 million pounds to 100 million pounds, if he had a budget of 100 million pounds, there was no reason for him to go out and really fast sign Mason Mount. That means he had hope that Chelsea would take 50 million pounds for Mason Mount and Spurs could take 100 million pounds for Harry Kane, and obviously those two will be landed at the club of Man United. I think that was his plan for starters, and to get in Rabiot on a free. So as it stands, we might see ourselves really getting more money in, and we are told that if at all Sheikh Jassim Al Thani comes in through, the best we can extend to without making sales is adding on 50 million pounds. So if at all you can add on 50 million pounds on top of the 150, that is 200, that is minus sales. So when you add on sales, that means it extends to 350. So the earlier the better. We've had a story coming in from a certain report or source that maybe tonight or tomorrow morning we are going to get green lighted about the takeover process by the Rain Group, and that is anticipated as up. So let's wait and see how that pans out, as we really find ourselves in a situation of a dilemma. We're between the hard rock and the hard place, because we don't know what's next. However much the second bid of Mason Mount has been rejected today, that doesn't give you hope that after the Mason Mount deal, we are going to go ahead and really get in more deals done. Not until we know the true ownership of the club of Manchester United. So that's it. Coming in from Rob Dawson, confirming to us that the budget of United is now close to 150 million pounds minus sales. I think that's really an energizer that takes you, or that gets you going. Now, we are having Michael Bridge. He's a Sky Sports journalist. He has told us that as it stands, Fulham won't be pursuing a deal for Fred, as they understand the price to be prohibitive. Now, Marco Silva is a fan of Fred. He wants to sign him. United is calling in for 25 million pounds for Fred, and Fulham is telling United that's a huge amount of money for us to really pay to you. Looks like United are standing their ground and they are saying we're not getting the money of West Ham. I think West Ham are rivaling him at between 15 and 20 million pounds, something that United doesn't really ascertain. So I would like to advise the team of Man United that don't make these deals hard. If West Ham are getting in 20 million pounds, let them get us that money and we top it up on what we need to get in players. That's it. Let's not make our business hard, because the more we keep players like Fred with us, they aren't going to help us, because first and foremost, he's left with 1 year on his contract. That means he's going to be willing to run his contract down and obviously go away as a free agent. You know, I don't want us to repeat the same mistakes with Hidon Paul Ebile Pogba, who would have gone ahead to get like 40 million pounds out of him, and we got nothing out of him. He walked out on a free. Jesse Lingard walked out on a free. A team called Newcastle came in January and put out a bid of 30 million pounds. United turned it down and they kept him and was not used, and he walked out on a free. So I don't want us to do such stupid things. We've made lots of losses from players, you know. Even David De Gea, his situation is really threatening that we might lose him out on a free also. That is like some other 20 sorry about that. That is some other 30 million pounds going out crying. That is why I come out and obviously anticipate that we need to be doing things better and better to see it that we get ourselves to the levels where we deserve to be as a club of Manchester United. But for Fred, 20 million pounds, sell him, because Ten Hag is not going to use him. If he gets in Rabiot and Mason Mount, obviously it's done deal for Scott McTominay and Fred. Why? They've not been getting enough playing time when Casemiro has been here with Fred and Eriksson. Sorry, Casemiro, Eriksson and Bruno, and then they brought in Marcel Sabitzer. They were not getting nowhere near the starting 11 of Man United. You add on Mason Mount, you add on Rabiot, obviously they have no chance. And they won't be even making to the bench. So we just need to sell these players off and really see ourselves going to the next level and pressing the next button. That's what we are supposed to do as with the fans of, as Manchester United board. But I know they are incompetent at buying, they are incompetent at selling. You ask yourself, what are they good at? And the only answer is sharing dividends amongst themselves. That's what they do better. And that's why we want lots of changes at Man United. Now, the David De Gea situation has been really clarified by a certain United correspondent known as Dan Sheldon for The Athletic. He has said David De Gea and Man United are yet to agree on a new contract. The goalkeeper and the club continue to examine their respective options. He concluded and said De Gea has communicated his intention to return to Man United after his holiday, but even though discussions between the two parties have been ongoing, a resolution is yet to be found. So, a resolution is yet to be found between David De Gea and Manchester United. But with the budget we have, we don't want to see us spending a huge amount of money on a first-choice goalkeeper. That is it. We need to get in a second-choice goalkeeper, keep David De Gea, get in a second-choice goalkeeper, and see how things are going to go on at Man United. We really anticipate that it's a 50-50 chance of him staying or leaving, and that's what we call a split. It's a total split in between David De Gea and Manchester United, because the board looks like they want to turn heel on him, and they're having a very bad history of really not giving our legends the farewell they deserve, because they've gone ahead to obviously do that to Rio Ferdinand, Patrice Evra, Wayne Rooney, and very many others. So the Glazers are really a mess at the club of Man United. So guys, your thoughts on to Ten Hag budget transfer boost are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Fred? Do you think United should go ahead and obviously keep its stance? Is there a team that's going to come and give them 25 million pounds or 30? And lastly, what do you make about David De Gea? Which resolution is going to be reached at by both the club and the entourage of David De Gea. I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, may Allah protect you abundantly. Me out for now. See you later, my mate.